Tonight, Iran and the White House say they've signed a deal. Now, the clock is ticking to make it stick.
If it doesn't get done in 60 days, that's all right. We go back to bombing.
Why some doubt the president's claim that he got everything he wanted. New recommendation on medical assistance in dying, a fierce debate about such a personal struggle.
I'm worried. I'm worried about myself.
And Alberta doles out some direct deposit oil dollars.
I don't even think it would cover a week of groceries, in my opinion.
How do the economics square with the politics?
From CBC News, this is The National with Chief Correspondent Adrienne Arsenault.
Thanks for joining us. A major breakthrough tonight in the U.S.-Iran war. Both sides have now signed a memorandum of understanding, effectively ending military operations for now, including in Lebanon. So the deal reopens the Strait of Hormuz and states that Iran will never have a nuclear weapon. But the toughest negotiations may still lie ahead, with 60 days to reach a final, more detailed deal. Sasha Petrusek breaks down everything that's been agreed on and the key challenges that could stand in the way of lasting peace.
With the U.S. and Iran now both confirming their agreement is signed and, in effect, the war officially over, G7 leaders had praise and relief.
We're very pleased with the deal that's been struck.
Its 14 paragraphs are vague on many issues, but Donald Trump praises it.
We reached an agreement with Iran that achieves everything we set out to accomplish, everything and much more.
It declares the fighting in Iran and Lebanon over and the Strait of Hormuz reopened, toll-free for at least 60 days, though late reports from Iran suggest it may eventually charge for its use. And while it says Iran promises never to produce nuclear weapons, a key Trump demand, those details are left to ongoing negotiations.
If it doesn't get done in 60 days, that's all right. We go back to bombing.
But I think the follow-up...
Arms control experts say the bigger danger is that the issue will never get resolved.
Because there is a risk that President Trump will declare victory, decide that he no longer wants to be entangled in Iran or focus on Iran, and move on to whatever crisis he creates next.
Iran will also get permission to sell as much oil as it wants and keep the profits, a huge new windfall. Other Trump demands from the start of the war, like destroying Iran's theocratic dictatorship and all its ballistic missiles, are barely mentioned. Getting rid of the missiles was key for Israel, but now dismissed by Trump.
And missiles aren't the problem. Missiles are, they hurt a little location, but they don't blow up the planet.
He also rebuked Israel for going too far in his attacks on Lebanon, reacting to rockets and drones fired by Iran's proxy there, Hezbollah. And that risks undoing this deal, since neither Tehran nor Washington has proven able to keep its allies from continuing the conflict in Lebanon. Adrienne?
So, Sasha, some of this gets confusing, right? Can you break down the next steps for us? Like, what happens now?
Well, according to the deal, all fighting ends immediately. Iran stops preventing ships and tankers from using the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. ends its blockade of Iranian ports. Then the clock starts on a 60-day marathon to sort out the toughest issues of all, like the future of Iran's nuclear program. And that's if the agreement holds. Adrienne?
All right, thank you. That is Sasha Petrusek in Washington tonight. Also tonight, the message from a special parliamentary committee to MPs is crystal clear. Block the upcoming expansion of medical assistance in dying indefinitely for those whose sole basis is mental illness. But Olivia Stefanovic shows us some call it an attack on their rights.
Today is a good day.
On the very day medical assistance in dying was legalized in Canada a decade ago, conservatives say this is as far as MAID should go.
This expansion of MAID for mental illness should never have gone forward in the first place.
In fact, a new report tabled in Parliament by a special joint committee urges the federal government amend the criminal code to indefinitely exclude people from MAID solely on the basis of mental illness.
The number of people who do not get better is very small.
The recommendation backed by the committee's Liberal Joint Chair and members.
It wasn't allowed beforehand. We're continuing to not allow it to happen.
But MAID for mental illness is scheduled to take effect next March after 2 previous delays. And for those hoping to access it, 3 years of waiting.
I'm worried. I'm worried about myself.
Claire Brasso struggles with several mental disorders, including bipolar, substance use, and post-traumatic stress. She spent years advocating for MAID to be an option.
I think we should have equal rights in this country.
We're not moving forward on this issue. We're actually moving backwards.
3 senators wrote a dissenting opinion, recommending the government ask Canada's top court to have the final say.
We need to really deal with the legal issues. Why are some people's charter rights being denied?
Part of the public trust of what MAID is for is that it's supposed to be for a medical condition that somebody is suffering from unbearably that will not improve.
When it comes to mental illness, many medical professionals told the committee they can't say that for certain.
There's been precision modeling showing that when we try to predict even something like treatment-resistant depression as being irremediable, the accuracy in that study that looked at it was 47%. You literally would be better off with a coin flip.
Critics of the recommendation accuse the Liberals and Conservatives of gaming the outcome by calling extra witnesses to oppose the expansion for mental illness. Now, the Liberal Joint Chair of the committee says he stands by its work.
So, Olivia, the decision now rests, as I understand it, with the Justice Minister. What is he telling you?
Well, Justice Minister Sean Fraser says he's going to take the time necessary to fully understand the committee's recommendations and do his own engagement. Medical experts concerned by this expansion say without more research and resources, it's difficult to know whether a person suffering from mental illness needs MAID or simply needs more support.
All right, thank you. That is Olivia Stefanovic in Ottawa. An RCMP officer has been charged for allegedly making threats against Donald Trump in a social media video. The RCMP say the 34-year-old officer allegedly made the threats on Snapchat while deployed on G7 security operations last year. He was removed from his post when a colleague reported the video. The U.S. Secret Service says it is aware of the incident but declined to comment further. A United Nations delegation has just visited Haiti, checking the progress of an international force that was sent to defeat the violent gangs terrorizing the capital. Paul Hunter joined the UN Secretary General on this rare visit to Port-au-Prince. He shows us the hope and the doubts of those who live there.
It's one of the most dangerous cities on earth, Haiti's gang-ridden capital, Port-au-Prince. CBC News was invited on a United Nations convoy with UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres into a city that's become a shambles.
Bonjour!
Guterres wanted the world to see again the misery for Haitians forced to live in camps like this, to escape the gang killings, kidnaps, and sexual assaults that have plagued the capital for years.
Très mal.
Terrible.
Très mal, parce que nous-mêmes.
It's terrible, Marie Moniz Sejour tells us. The gangs are still in control. Life in displacement camps is endless chaos, squalor, illness, and despair. Some 1.5 million Haitians are now displaced by the gangs. Guterres also met with what the UN hopes will finally be an effective response to the gangs, the first troops in Haiti's new multinational gang suppression force, or GSF. Led by soldiers from Chad, they're backed by the UN Security Council and funded in part by $40 million from Canada. Unlike previous such efforts, they're empowered to take on the gangs directly and aggressively.
Secretary General, what do you make of what you've seen so far?
Guterres told us the work ahead is daunting, but
I believe that for the first time we have enough strength, enough capacity, and the adequate doctrine to be able to defeat the gangs and to be able to offer hope to the people of Haiti.
It will not happen overnight. There's no doubt about that.
Canada's ambassador to Haiti says lessons have been learned from failed prior efforts to turn Haiti around. But the GSF, he says, might actually work.
So there's this unity of purpose, both politically and from the international community as well. So we're confident that it will provide, it will give back to Haitians their security.
Back at that camp, where there are families to raise and children to protect, we asked through a translator, does Marie Séjour have faith in this latest international response?
No,
we don't have faith. We don't know.
Neither does she have hope, she said. Adrian.
So, Paul, you've been to Haiti a lot over the years. What's your sense of where this is going?
Yeah, look, Haiti's got a lot of problems, right? But the thinking with this force is that real change begins with security. And the failure with the last multinational force was that its mandate was simply to help Haiti's police, to support them, let them take the lead. This time it's different. This force is bigger, stronger, better equipped, and as I said in the piece, more aggressive. It'll take the battle directly to the gangs themselves. Will it work? We'll see.
All right, thank you, Paul. Paul Hunter in Santo Domingo, a neighboring Dominican Republic, tonight. According to the Transportation Safety Board, before the Titan submersible slipped beneath the waves for its final fatal voyage, it slipped through gaps in Canada's regulatory oversight. Laura Howell's now on the new revelations about an infamous disaster.
The Titan disaster gained worldwide attention. 5 people instantly killed when the submersible collapsed deep underwater.
This was a catastrophic implosion of the vessel.
Now, Canada's Transportation Safety Board with a scathing report.
Our investigation revealed not only technical issues in the Titan's construction and design, but also broader systemic risks related to oversight.
The TSB said the Titan's unconventional hull, using carbon fiber, was likely more damaged with every dive.
So Titan wasn't really built to a standard, a known standard, and it wasn't tested properly.
Something its Maverick owner seemed to acknowledge himself.
I think it was General MacArthur said, "You're remembered for the rules you break." And, you know, I've broken some rules to make this.
The TSB also found problems in Canada. Limited government oversight, and not enough communication among departments. 2 years before the disaster, a Department of Fisheries official flagged that the Titan wasn't certified, had unusual design, and wasn't insured. But later, when OceanGate applied to do research here, the DFO said nothing.
If that information was shared with Transport Canada, then there would be an opportunity for them to act upon it.
The TSB's recommendations include improving oversight, communications, and safety requirements. A good step forward to confronting an international problem, says this industry expert.
The regulatory oversight, the message is, look, it's not just Canada's problem. And the only way we get to that is where we sit them at the table and we have all stakeholders at the table.
3 years ago, a Canadian vessel carried Titan wreckage into this harbor. The TSB calling for changes to prevent a catastrophe like that from ever happening again. Laura Howell, CBC News, St. John's.
One person is dead and several are injured after a jet crashed onto a Texas highway near the Mexican border Tuesday night. So as you can see there, drivers jumped out of their cars to pull passengers and crew from the burning wreck. Officials say there were 6 people on board the plane that took off from San Jose del Cabo in Mexico, bound for Austin, Texas. Just before the crash, pilots reported mechanical problems while requesting an emergency landing. Well, Albertans soon will be able to apply to receive a one-time payment of $100. The Premier says the rebate is to help with the high cost of gas. But as Stephanie Cram shows us, some residents say this is not nearly enough.
Premier Danielle Smith says she has a plan to put money back into the hands of Albertans.
Our government recognizes that families are feeling the pinch, which is why we're taking action.
A new government rebate will make more than 3.4 million Albertans eligible for a one-time payment of $100. The Premier says it's meant to replace the fuel tax relief program and help with the rising cost of living.
Many Albertans are asking the same question. How did life get this expensive?
Especially gas prices. While those have been driven higher by the Middle East war, it has also meant increased oil revenues for the province.
And we made a decision that people need the money now.
They might have some concerns about issuing a prosperity check at this time.
About 20 years ago, then Premier Ralph Klein gave every Albertan a $400 check. But some say handling a surplus of money in this way might not pay off.
I think you open yourself up to the criticism of, well, this isn't going to make any difference, right? That's the concern. Like a one-time payment of $200, $300, $400, I don't think will sit well with people.
And some seem to agree.
I don't even think it would cover a week of groceries, in my opinion.
How much the expenses have gone up, that $100 doesn't compensate, to be honest.
And there's more than just economics involved.
I think there has been a lot of criticism of this government recently that there's this distraction of separatism. And so this speaks to that and kind of sort of mitigates that criticism and say, no, look, we're dealing with affordability.
The program is expected to cost about $300 million. Early this year, the province estimated a deficit of $9.4 billion. It's expected oil prices could bring a surplus, but the government says it's too volatile to say if the province will end up in the black. Stephanie Cram, CBC News, Edmonton.
Some new Canadians recently granted citizenship certificates received some shocking news in recent days. The federal government wants them to surrender the documents. As Alexander Silberman shows us, it is leaving their plans for a new life in Canada in limbo.
American Valerie Campbell was excited to receive her Canadian citizenship certificate back in March, with hopes of fleeing the political climate in the U.S. She's one of more than 4,000 people granted citizenship under Bill C-3. Nicknamed the Lost Canadians Act, it opened the door for people with Canadian ancestors to apply for citizenship.
Everything I've been doing has been headed in that direction, selling my house.
Ready to leave her main home for the Maritimes, Campbell got an unexpected letter from Ottawa over the weekend, asking for her citizenship certificate to be returned.
It was a complete and full shock.
In a notice sent to an undisclosed number of people, the federal government told recipients they may not be entitled to hold a Canadian certificate of citizenship. It says documentation is not from the original source, and it will conduct a thorough review to determine if the certificate should be canceled.
There's no transparency with what's going on. People are afraid.
Opposition critics say the sudden suspensions impact people who made plans to relocate.
Now all of a sudden be in a limbo situation, and that cannot be acceptable.
Just because you have a Canadian ancestor.
The immigration minister says the government has been clear.
Each applicant must link their ancestry generation per generation through verified, authenticated documents.
Immigration lawyers say people under review are still Canadian citizens, and they'll have a chance to present more evidence.
Something has occurred somewhere in the process, and there's a reason that they're looking into this further.
The federal government won't say how many letters were issued. It says the review is a necessary measure to protect the integrity of citizenship and public confidence in the process. Alexander Silberman, CBC News, Montreal.
For the third straight quarter, Canada's population has decreased. On April the 1st, the population was more than 41.4 million. That's down roughly 55,000 from the start of the year. That is a 0.1% drop. Statistics Canada attributes it to a 20% decrease in the number of permanent residents and nearly 118,000 fewer temporary residents like students. Well, Canada's plan to buy a Swedish surveillance jet could be facing a major technical hurdle.
There is no chance that at this point in time that the United States is going to allow anyone who is not an F-35 partner nation to get into the MAID network.
Why it could put integration with NORAD in jeopardy. Next. Plus, what's with all those empty seats at major concert venues?
We're seeing that more and more tours, especially bigger tours, are not selling out.
The surging prices driving the so-called blue dot fever. And later, how far would you go to see a legend play?
We did a long trip in bicycle for 9 months and a half, and we crossed all the continent.
Lionel Messi fans show their dedication. We're back in 2.
On behalf of the people, good morning, Your Honor.
A judge in the United States says that Luigi Mangione plans to use a psychiatric defense in his trial. If a jury accepts the claim of, quote, extreme emotional disturbance, Mangione would receive a reduced sentence for the 2024 killing of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Prosecutors accuse Mangione of meticulously planning the ambush, traveling out of state, and writing messages on the bullets he used.
Get him out of here.
Those are the cheers erupting in a New York courtroom as the man known as the Gilgo Beach serial killer was sentenced to life in prison without parole. Rex Heuermann admitted to murdering 8 women over a 17-year period, the judge calling him a disgusting, despicable little man. Ottawa is facing new hurdles with its planned purchase of Sweden's surveillance jets. Integrating the aircraft into NORAD requires convincing the Trump administration to share a crucial piece of technology. And as Murray Brewster explains, that could mean a new battle with Washington.
Meet Ottawa's choice for the Air Force's new eye in the sky, the Saab Global Eye, an airborne early warning surveillance and control aircraft, the brains of the battle space, directing fighters towards missile and aircraft threats. Being able to exchange data seamlessly with those warplanes is imperative, and that's where Ottawa's new plan runs into some hurdles.
The Saab Global Eye, it's an effective system for what I understand, but because it's not an American system and it isn't licensed to work with the MADL system.
This is a MADL, short for Multifunction Advanced Data Link. It keeps F-35 data cloaked from enemy sensors. The Global Eye doesn't have one, and some critics argue it needs one. The problem is, the U.S. has never granted another country such as Sweden access to this kind of proprietary technology.
There is no chance that at this point in time that the United States is going to allow anyone who is not an F-35 partner nation to get into the MADL network.
Canada's defense minister acknowledges they're talking with Saab engineers about the technical challenges of integrating the Global Eye into NORAD with both Canadian and American F-35s.
That's a complicated technical question. It's one that we're looking at.
This is significant because when the F-35 doesn't use MADL to transmit its data and relies on older systems, it becomes visible to adversaries. This Saab test pilot says Global Eye complies with NORAD specifications, and Canada is working through the challenges related to the F-35s.
I would say that the assumption can be made that there will be unwillingness to transmit actively from F-35. One can also assume that the US would be restrictive in terms of releasing MADL terminals to other platforms.
Many of these NORAD technical challenges playing out with the Global Eye could end up repeating themselves if Canada goes all of the way with Saab and buys Gripen fighters in addition to the F-35s. Murray Brewster, CBC News, Ottawa.
Many Canadians are already stretched to their financial limits, and higher mortgage payments could push them to the breaking point.
It's higher risk for the lender to lend out money for a property that's simply not worth it.
Andrew Chang explains how higher interest rates and falling property values are putting some homeowners in a bind. Plus, a flooding problem at a London tube station and the furry little engineers who came to the rescue.
We'll prove to more and more people that people and beavers can live together.
The National breaks down the stories shaping our world. Next. Prince Harry is expected to return to the UK next month with Meghan and their 2 children, Archie and Lilibet. This would mark the family's first visit together in 4 years. It's expected to coincide with the 1-year countdown to the next Invictus Games, which will take place in Birmingham. So there's something out there called blue dot fever. That's a cheeky reference to unsold seats, which appear as blue dots on ticketing websites. Music insiders claim it's the reason so many concert tours are hurting this year. Here's Griffin Yeager.
I'm going to say what everybody's thinking. I had to change venues for my show due to low ticket sales.
Longtime Canadian indie artist Jeremy Fisher isn't the only one dealing with it. And you've probably noticed it too if you've bought concert tickets lately. Those blue dots symbolizing unsold seats on ticket sales. Fans even have a name for it. Blue Dot Fever. This was Post Malone's Toronto seat map just hours before showtime.
We're seeing that more and more tours, especially bigger tours, are not selling out.
The Pussycat Dolls canceled all but one North American show this year, saying they took an honest look. Post Malone, Meghan Trainor, and more canceled shows too, citing other reasons, but experts say the root of the problem is the price tag.
Fans are actually now trying to decide who they're going to see because they spend a lot of money on Rush. That doesn't leave them a lot of money to go, say, see Oasis.
According to data from Pollstar, from 2019 to 2025, the average ticket price for a top 100 World Tour concert went up about 37%. And higher prices come with expensive expectations.
They want to see the choreography. They want to see the pyrotechnics.
The production value is way better. It's much larger. The staging is more impressive. And all of that costs money.
SeatGeek and StubHub told CBC News demand for concerts is still high, especially for large shows and festivals. But fans say they're spending more selectively.
I have to pick and choose on how many concerts I go to.
I've wanted to see other celebrities and I can't afford it.
This is the first concert I've gone in years.
Industry observers worry it's changing the concert landscape.
My fear is that it's going to become something that only, the people with a lot of money can afford on both sides.
But she hopes there might be a silver lining, that fans start to make room for smaller artists and local venues too. Griffin Yeager, CBC News, Toronto.
In the breakdown tonight, Canadian homeowners dealing with an increasing mortgage trap and London's unusual flood mitigation plan.
It's a little bit wildernessy.
London imports a furry solution to a big underground problem.
I'm hoping that, of course, will inspire other projects.
Watching the wildlife engineers at work. But first,
It was almost free money.
the cost of borrowing has changed dramatically for homeowners across the country, pushing many to a breaking point. Andrew Chang, host of About That, explains the dilemma: higher interest rates, rising debt, falling home values, and owners looking for a way out.
Imagine you're pushed out of a plane. You're plummeting towards the ground, but no problem, you have a parachute, except you pull it. You look up at the canopy, and it's got a giant hole in it. Or imagine you're driving on a dark road at night. You realize at some point you must have driven over a nail because you're losing tire pressure. You think, no problem, I've got a spare, except you go to check, and the spare has a nail in it too. This is exactly the kind of oh no, followed by oh no situation that some homeowners are finding themselves in as they realize two things. One, that their mortgage payments have gotten too expensive. And two, that they can't refinance because the value of their home has dropped. Their parachute has a hole, their spare tire has deflated, their safety net doesn't have enough give. This is especially bad in the Toronto area, but it's a phenomenon that applies countrywide, where the homeowners who are most squeezed by higher interest rates just can't get the break they need from the banks. This is mortgage prison, and I can explain how it works. You don't need me to tell you how much more expensive everything is. Gas is up, and because gas is up, the price to ship everything is up. And speaking of everything, pandemic prices never really dropped back down to pre-pandemic levels, did they? But for homeowners, one of the biggest pain points can be interest rates. Remember those pandemic lows? Everyone was locked down, but the Bank of Canada was trying to stimulate spending by lowering interest rates. The key policy rate, almost 0%, just a quarter point.
It's by far the lowest that they ever went. It was an indicator as to how precarious the state of the Canadian economy was.
It was almost free money in a sense.
And a policy rate that low meant you could get a mortgage from a commercial bank at 1.5%. So lots of people saw that as a steal, and they locked in at those low rates for 5-year terms. Well, welcome to 5 years later. Sure, today, interest rates are nowhere near historic highs, but they're higher than they were during the pandemic. That means a 1.5%, 2% interest rate is more like 4% today, which really adds up. Let's say you have a $400,000 mortgage, enjoying that 1.5% rate over 20 years. That's a monthly payment of just over $1,900 a month. And by the end of your 5-year term, congratulations, you've knocked around $90,000 off your total loan. But 5 years later, Yes, you're happy to have a smaller mortgage, but the higher rate is brutal. If you stay on track with your master plan, and now you have 15 years left on your mortgage, you're facing an increase of more than $350 a month just to stay in the home you already live in. But you can't afford that extra $350 a month because you're already stretched by the price of everything else. So instead of simply renewing your mortgage for another 5 years at this higher rate, you try to refinance.
The difference between a renewal and a refinance really boils down to whether a homeowner is withdrawing equity from a home or looking to rewrite the mortgage.
Refinancing would ask whether you qualify for a new mortgage. You could take out a brand new loan, different amortization, maybe extending your amortization.
So what most people do in this situation is figure out what they have control over. You can't control the size of the mortgage. You're paying as much as you can. You can't control the interest rate. That's set by God. I mean, the big banks. But you can control the amortization period. If everything was going according to plan, we'd have 15 years left on our loan. But things most certainly are not going according to plan. So what if we stretch this back out to 20 years? The longer the loan, the more time we have to pay off our debt, so our monthly payments drop accordingly. And through the magic of refinancing, this now actually works out to paying less every month on our mortgage because we've stretched it out so much. And this is pretty common amongst people who refinance. According to the Bank of Canada's latest financial stability report, among people who've refinanced in the last few years, about 70% extended their amortization by an average of 6 years. Big banks like this approach because long run, borrowers pay more interest on longer loans than shorter ones. So refinancing by stretching out the loan period. Borrowers get easier payments, banks make more money, it's win-win. Except, what if the bank says no? Why would the bank say no? When people who rent look at people who own, I think they often see the home equity that the owner has as wealth. But for the homeowner who may be struggling with this massive loan that they have to pay back, their home isn't just wealth, it's what gives them options when things go wrong.
Even if you don't want to sell your home, you could go to a bank and say, listen, I've got some good wealth here. Maybe I can borrow against that wealth. So beyond the fact that you might already have a mortgage, bank might be willing to extend you a line of credit or other products.
Remember how refinancing a mortgage compared to simply renewing your mortgage at a new interest rate is really effectively negotiating a whole new loan. And if you think about the way banks approve mortgages in the first place, they ask all kinds of questions, right? Who are you? What do you do for work? How much do you make? And what's the value of the home you're purchasing? That's useful to know because that's your collateral. If you can't pay your mortgage, the bank forecloses, you lose your home. So the bank, knowing what your home is worth, is willing to take a certain amount of risk. Based on all the numbers, including the value of your collateral, will lend you, say, up to a maximum of $400,000. So you can start to see the problem when home prices drop, as they have been, across the country as an average, by 20%, depending on how you crunch the numbers, in only a few years. It's just headline after headline. And lots of people who've tried to sell recently will tell you, just not selling at a loss is kind of a win.
If you're a seller and you don't have something that's amazing, it's tricky and you've got to be realistic.
So no easy autopilot profits to see here, folks. Here's the death spiral, though, as I've seen it described, where you're in a bind because what if the mortgage you were approved for during good times was really at the outer limits of what you could afford? You were already stretched, and then hard times hit. You go to your bank and say, help a guy out, except they look at your loan to value ratio, the size of your mortgage relative to the value of your home. An LTV of 75% is considered risky. You were already at almost 90%. And now with the value of your home dropping, you're at 100%. I'm simplifying here, but the point is, if your bank already saw you as high risk and your risk just increased because the value of your collateral decreased, then they may not want to play ball with you, either by allowing you to extract equity from your home or lengthening the term of your loan. It doesn't matter how creative you want to get.
It's higher risk for the lender to lend out money for a property that's simply not worth it.
According to the Bank of Canada, the pressure of this mortgage prison is greatest in major markets like Vancouver and Toronto. Nearly 1 in 10 mortgage holders in the Toronto area won't be able to refinance their loans or renew them with a new lender in 2027 if home prices remain at current depressed levels. And what's more, if home prices were to fall by another 10%, that share would rise modestly to about 7% nationally and 12% in the Toronto area. So here's the outlook, summed up in one graph. In its most recent forecast, the Bank of Canada figures around 12% of mortgages today whose 5-year terms are expiring in the next 12 months, they're about to face monthly payments that are 15% higher than what they've been paying. We call that pressure. The good news, all those mortgage holders who are facing renewals with shorter terms aren't nearly as affected. You see how small these two bars are? Because if you were only on a 3-year term or paying a free-flowing variable rate, you've already been paying higher interest rates anyway. You weren't paying pandemic low rates to begin with because you bought afterwards. And more good news, once we get into the second half of 2027, even for people with longer 5-year fixed terms, the price differential is still comparatively small because we're getting far enough into the future at this point that people, again, weren't paying pandemic low rates to begin with. So this big differential is the last wave of people sailing off the mortgage cliff. Those people who bought at historic low rates, but are now up for renewal at meaningfully higher rates. Now, it's not all bad news. The vast majority of people will find ways to make it work. The Bank of Canada notes, overall, mortgage defaults are fairly low and stable. But that doesn't change the fact that if you find yourself in an unfortunate situation and just can't make the math work, you're stuck in a very difficult place.
Coming up, London's new flood prevention plan designed by nature's engineers.
So we're all crouched down here being really, really quiet because we're getting a very good view of Mama Beaver.
Briar Stewart looks at the work they are doing and the attraction they've become next. London has brought in a growing family of beavers with a very specific ask.
Rewilding our city, boosting our biodiversity, preventing floods.
We'll show you how they're taking to the task, restoring wetlands and reducing flooding. Briar Stewart takes us to the London Beaver Dam, crucial to the city's flood control project.
This is the moment that patience paid off. When a crowd was silenced by the rustling in the bush, as one of London's newest beavers waddled into view.
So we're all crouched down here being really, really quiet because we're getting a very good view of Mama Beaver just over there in the trees, just going to town on the branches.
Meet Willow, one of the city's only wild beavers, a nursing mom who seemingly couldn't care less that we're all watching and recording her evening meal. We even got a good view of her iron-enriched orange teeth. She's one of 5 beavers who were moved from Scotland to this green space less than 10 kilometers from Heathrow Airport in 2023.
Mum, Willow, heaviest beaver to be moved in the country, like translocated. She weighed 30 kilograms.
Oh, wow.
I'm sure she weighs a little bit more now, but I don't want to body shame her, but she is a big mum.
And she's the matriarch of a beaver colony who's helped to solve a problem by doing what beavers do: building dams to control the flow of water. During heavy rainfall, the urban area around this park used to routinely flood, including the local tube station. The council had already planned expensive engineering works when several community groups pitched an idea: try leaving it to the beavers. After they were released into this wetland at the end of 2023, the flooding at the tube station seems to have stopped.
And that's due to the beavers?
Yeah. Everything downstream is much more protected from flooding than it was before. All because they want to hold that water back so that they have enough water to swim in and feel safe.
And that's not the only positive.
It's a little bit wildernessy.
That's sort of the point, isn't it?
Shanez Mustafa is an urban beaver officer. It's a new role designed to help engage and educate the public about the beavers. And she says biodiversity at the site has also improved. She's now seeing fish and more birds since the beavers moved in.
So it's been 400 years since the beavers were last living in London, and like the rest of the UK, they had disappeared because they had been hunted for their fur, for their meat, and for their musk.
The Ealing Beaver Project, as this is called, is part of a growing plan to try and rewild Britain, and in particular the sprawling, congested capital. The city's mayor says he's making it a priority.
Rewilding our city, boosting our biodiversity, preventing floods, for me is an issue of also social justice, because many Londoners don't have a garden.
The project is publicly accessible, and a few times a week they run sold-out beaver safaris.
Oh no, it's still going. It's going back to the lodge.
Where they get some of the background. For instance, the beavers here are the Eurasian species, not the same kind you see in Canada. Some are so keen that they even pick up a souvenir. Many, like Amanda Ram, came here after learning about the site.
You hear that?
From a David Attenborough documentary called Wild London.
There's like a McDonald's right here, and there's like a TK Maxx, and then there's like this project which you wouldn't expect to be in this park, but it is, and I think they've made this an amazing landscape as well. And that's what beavers do, isn't it? They make things better.
It's believed there are at least 8 beavers now at this site. This mom has had more than 4 kits, including 2 that the project staff call Chewy and Chompy. It's still a mystery how many she's had this year.
Oh, she's beautiful, isn't she? She's stunning, and so lucky to have seen her. Yeah, I feel privileged.
I'm from Canada, and that's the closest I've ever seen a beaver, so there you go.
Well, there you go. You had to come to the west of London to see one.
I mean, I've seen her up close once before, but never for this long. I'm hoping that, of course, we'll inspire other projects, but we'll prove to more and more people that people and beavers can live together in an urban landscape across, different areas of Greater London and who knows where else.
A new beaver project is now in the works for South London, even as this colony continues to grow.
Ah, fantastic. That South London project that Breyer spoke of, the beavers are expected to call it home by 2028. Well, coming up, 3 Argentinian fans cycle from their hometown all the way to Kansas City for the World Cup.
Like a challenge, physically and mentally challenge, why not?
You're not kidding. Their 9.5-month trek next in our moment. Question for you. How far would you travel for your favorite team? Well, these 3 guys cycled from their hometown in Argentina to Kansas City to watch their country in the World Cup. So they started their journey last August before the cities were even announced, with no tickets to any games. How they scored a seat to Tuesday night's match after their epic trek, well, that makes our moment.
We did a long trip in bicycle for 9 months and a half, and we crossed all the continent from Argentina to Kansas City for the World Cup. It's like a challenge, physically and mentally challenge. Why not? We have in the blood the football, the soccer is the last World Cup for Messi, and I love travel. When we arrived, we don't have tickets. Mike Kelly, in the chosen county mayor, say, guys, we have tickets for you for the first match. We watched it in the stadium. Messi have 38 years old and did like 3 goals in the match. This guy is God for us. We share with the people, we sing, we dance. We love the the national team, Messi, Argentina. We are so happy for that after this long trip.
Nothing like sports. So think about this. When they first started, they said they'd never even heard of Kansas City, but by the time they got to Kansas City, after cycling through 17 countries, there were a whole bunch of people waiting for them who cycled with them right up to the end. From all of us at The National, thanks for being with us. I'm Adrienne Arsenault. Take care.